You are looking at two turbochargers, and that's because the new C8 ZR1 is the first factory turbocharged Corvette ever. And guess what? That means we're talking serious horsepower. Whatever number you have in your head right now, move it up. Probably up a little bit more from there too, because this car makes 1,064 horsepower. To say that this is the most powerful Corvette ever is completely underselling it. This is more powerful than any road-going Ferrari, McLaren, or Lamborghini ever.
Chevy calls this engine the LT7. Like I said, 1,064 horsepower, and with it, 828 pound-feet of torque. It starts with the LT6 block, yanked directly from the C8 Z06, a 5.5-liter dual overhead cam flat plane crank V8 that now includes some extra hardware, including two 76mm turbochargers that run 20 PSI each. Chevy engineers say that the turbofans rotate at 1.7 times the speed of sound, consuming an Olympic-sized swimming pool's volume of air in 4 minutes. The LT7 revs to 8,000 RPM, which is less than the Z06, but come on, listen to this. The ZR1 is only available with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission that's also shared with the Z06. Only here, it's been upgraded to handle the additional power and torque. This car also gets a specifically tuned traction management system, you know, to help you not drive into a tree.
As you can imagine, that leads to some truly mind-blowing performance figures. Chevy says that this car will be good for the quarter mile in less than 10 seconds, probably around 9.7 by the time they put it into production. The chief engineer just told us that the very first time they took this car out for validation, they immediately went under 10. With that kind of company, you're talking Lamborghini Revuelto, McLaren P1, super quick electric things like the Tesla Model S Plaid, Lucid Sapphire. That is insanely quick in the quarter. And if you want to talk about top speed, you're looking at over 215 miles per hour when you equip it without the giant rear wing on the back. Let's start by getting up close and personal with one of my favorite things about the ZR1. It's called the flow-through hood. It is this massive cutout that takes air and it channels it over the windshield directly back onto that massive rear wing. It makes it a lot more functional. Of course, it adds downforce. Now, this ZR1 that you're looking at is called the ZTK Package. Translation, Ultimate Track Attack Car. In addition to the flow-through hood, you get things like these carbon fiber bits, a huge front splitter, and then carbon fiber wheels wrapped in Michelin Cup 2R tires. That is about the stickiest set of rubber that you can put on a street legal car. Not sure how that's going to do in the wet, but if it's dry and you're on a racetrack, you can't ask for anything better than that. This portion of the C8 we've gotten used to. It started out with the Stingray, but Chevy's gone a little bit further this time around and added some functional cooling. This duct right here goes down to the rear brakes. Over here, we have additional cooling for the engine. And of course, it's all done in carbon fiber. Looks super aggressive. Not nearly as aggressive as this rear spoiler. I'm pretty sure you could use it as a dining room table at Thanksgiving if you need to. Now, if you look right here, this is one of my favorite features that they actually brought over from the GT3 race cars. A little bit of a split window situation. You can do a normal piece of rear glass. You can have this done in carbon fiber, or in this case, you can have it body colored. Adds this extra visual element that just makes the car look really, really neat from the back. All right, my friends, if you would like to see the new Corvette ZR1 participate in Edmunds U-Drags, do us a favor and leave a comment down below so that Chevy gets the message loud and clear. So now we're looking at a more standard ZR1 without the ZTK package. In this case, it's also a convertible. The ZR1 comes in a hardtop and a convertible. You can have either one. On the standard car, you still get a massive front splitter. It's the exact same one you get with the ZTK package, but you lose those really neat looking carbon fiber side planes. Here we have the standard tire and wheel package. It is the Michelin PS4S tire and a really neat looking forged wheel. The reason I know it's a forged wheel is because they wrote the word forged in giant letters, just in case you were missing something. Just like on the Stingray and the Z06 convertibles, you do lose that view into the V8 back here, but of course you gain a folding hardtop, get a little bit of extra sunshine. Finally, on the standard ZR1, you lose the massive wing that was up here with the ZTK. Instead, you get a much more normal looking aero package back here. This is how you would want to spec the car for its optimal top speed, around 215 miles per hour. Inside the ZR1, things are actually pretty similar to other C8 Vettes. You do get some some exclusive badging. It says ZR1 on the steering wheel. There's another ZR badge located right behind me. But other than that, this is very familiar to a base Stingray. I have to say, at this point in a lot of different Chevy products, we're used to seeing massive screens. So this one, by comparison, looks tiny compared to when the C8 first came out. But that said, you're not buying this car for the infotainment. It really doesn't matter all that much. You still get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. I've been going through the driving modes to see if anything is different or specific to ZR1. You still get the configurable My Mode, Touring, Sport, and in this case, Race as well, or Track Mode, I should say. You get really neat animations of the cars driving around. So a little bit dialed up in the ZR1 here, otherwise pretty standard C8 stuff. The ZR1 has always been Chevy's ultimate Corvette, going back to the 1990s. The C4 ZR1 was the first to get a dual overhead cam engine. The C6 ZR1 was the first to get forced induction via a giant supercharger. Then there's the most recent C7 ZR1. That car had a massive 6.2 liter V8 with a supercharger, of course front engine. It made 755 horsepower. Edmunds tested that car back in 2019. We did 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds and the quarter mile in 11.2. So in one generation of car, we're going from front engine to mid-engine, supercharging to turbocharging, and potentially a second and a half quicker in the quarter mile. If you didn't believe Chevy when they said that they did all that they could do with the front engine layout, maybe now you believe them.
After seeing the car in studio, Chevy brought us to its proving grounds in Milford, Michigan, where I got to experience the ZR1's insane power firsthand.
That was way too casual. I know it, right? Super easy, super effortless. What's crazy is it didn't get that windy until like a $180. Yeah. Yeah, then you can start feeling it move around a little bit. And you have the AC blasting. Yeah, it's comfortable. Jeez.